Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler video series videos I've been doing for a little while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie, I'm feeling oddly patriotic. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there and I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. Whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm doing something else. Oh, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. And folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for you today, folks? Well, it happens to be my Stellar Circuit shirt. One of a few that I have. But you might be asking, if you don't watch my show, what the fuck is Stellar Circuits? Well, simple answer is they're a band out of North Carolina. And if you want me to go more complex into that, I once asked one of their members, their guitarist, I was like, what do you guys classify your music as? And he kind of gave me a funny answer, and it was like, okay, I sort of see them as being kind of progressive metalcore. That's what I've sort of gone with. I don't think that's entirely appropriate because I think they have a very unique style of music and I think they do really incredible things. I ran into these guys through a Facebook ad a few years ago, and it just so happened that just a few months after that, they ended up playing a show not too far from me. So I was fortunate enough I got to see them perform. And basically, ever since then, they typically come by once a year, and I try to get in when I can because I think they're a phenomenal band. They're all extremely awesome people. They're genuinely one of my favorite bands. So I like them so much. I've obviously got merch. I've also got a number of videos of their performances. Those videos are on this channel, just in case maybe you want to check them out. If nothing else, I'd be more than happy to point you in the right direction as far as their music is concerned. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing here? Why is it patriotic? Well, folks, because fuck it. Mountain Dew was just like, we're just gonna all in America. America! Fuck yeah. The whole thing. And they came out with a series of 3 dews representing red, white, and blue, the colors of America, and realistically many other countries because it's a very common color combination. But America, damn it. And in honor of that order of colors, I'm going to start with red. Boom! It's this. It is Mountain Dew Star Spangled Splash, which is due with a blast of red berry flavor and other natural flavors. Ooh, there's never been a natural flavor in any Mountain Dew ever. This shit gets pulled from pools in another dimension where they make sacrifices. Oh, but anyway, let's go ahead. Let's get a thing for the thing. It looks like that, and it's like, ha 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 ha. Let's give it a go. Hopefully it's good. I'm very thirsty. I just got through taking a shower. For whatever reason, I've never been able to figure this out. When I get done taking a shower, no matter what type of moisturizer or body wash or what the fuck ever, I always feel very dry. Like I just feel dried out. I don't like it. But, ooh, I like this one a bunch. But here's the thing. So I like it. I like it a good amount. And mind you, I've reviewed a bunch of Mountain Dews. In fact, I've reviewed so many Mountain Dews, I have an entire playlist called Mountain Dew Madness. So if you're interested in other Mountain Dew reviews, that's where these are going to end up. The thing is, I think a big part of the reason why I like it is because it tastes reminiscent of other Mountain Dew flavors that I'm already a fan of. There's definitely an element of it that reminds me a little bit of Code Red, which Code Red is one of my personal favorites, and maybe that's just, psychological, but there definitely does seem to be something to it. But no, it's really nice. It has a nice, crisp, refreshing flavor. Not all Mountain Dews do. Some of them are a little bit heavier, but when you get the really good ones, they've got that nice factor to them, And I think this definitely has it. Like, it's genuinely, I think this is really nice. And it has kind of, it's a Mountain Dew, so it's obviously going to be sweet. Not crazy, overly sweet. No funky chemical taste or anything like that. I think at this point, most, if not all, major sodas have pretty much knocked that part of things out of their, when they're developing their new flavors. But for a while, yeah. And it has, they're calling it a red berry. Is a cherry a berry? Because it definitely does remind me of sort of like a cousin to Code Red. It doesn't have quite the same bite to it that Code Red does, but it does have more of that kind of a berry flavor instead of a direct cherry flavor. But it's nice. It has like a nice fruity flavor to it. Has a little bit of a tanginess kind of at the very, very end, but like for most of it, it's just a very sweet, very refreshing dew. But yeah, it's got a little something extra on the end. Just a little extra oomph, Almost reminds me of kind of what you get from like raspberries, almost kind of like that dry tanginess. Mind you, again, I wouldn't call it a tangy drink, but it's got a little something on the end that sort of creates a contrasting flavor to just the sweetness. You folks know me, I like contrasting flavors. It's really nice. And even though, yeah, it does feel a bit generic, I appreciate what they're doing with it. Because I really do like that. Like I said, it's nice, it's crisp, it's refreshing, and it almost has kind of a dry taste, which again kind of goes back to the raspberry element I was talking about. But, two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Personally, I'm going to go with yes and yes. Like, for me personally, I like it. I think it's a good dew. I don't think it's an upper tier dew, though. I will say that, because for one thing, it's too reminiscent of another dew that I already like. And I definitely prefer Code Red to this. But I like that it is, even though I'm making the comparison, I don't want it to seem like it's a one-to-one or anything like that. This is definitely its own dew. But here's the thing. It has its own personality, which is something that I've brought up in reviewing past dews. I think it's very important for a dew to have a lasting impact. It shouldn't just taste good. It should, give you a little something to remember it by. I think this has that, but it's kind of like it has a personality, but it has a personality in the way that like a younger brother kind of has the personality of an older brother. In this case, Code Red being the older brother. It's the original. It's the one that did it first and probably did it best. But, you got Timmy here that's like, oh boy, happen to be like my big brother. He's not as good as it, but, he's got his own flair. He's got his own things, too. So that's kind of how it goes for me. But I do like it. And I think that, yeah, I would get it again. Even though, realistically, I'd probably just get the Code Red. But if I'm recommending it, it's a limited time dew. With limited time dews, I'm always going to be of that mindset that, like, hey, we should go over there, take the opportunity while it's there. So I tend to give it a few extra points when I'm trying to recommend it. But the thing is, I think this is a good Mountain Dew. I don't think it's, like, an exceptional Mountain Dew, but, like, it's a solid, like, B Mountain Dew, And there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, I think it just, if you enjoy Code Red, I think you'll probably enjoy this. Just maybe not quite as much. But anyway. Folks, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your folks. Go over there, have yourselves a truly Code Red-tastic rest of your life. Because again, man, Code Red is, it's one of the OG flavors. So, final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do all the time, I know I can't do all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, what with the fact that, we are approaching the 4th of July at the time I'm doing this. You know, obviously that's a date of extreme significance for myself and my fellow Americans, but obviously, you know, it's not going to be the same significance for people around the world. But hopefully, you know, through some of what myself and other reviewers and other content creators on YouTube are, you know, going to be doing, you know, in celebration of this, you know, putting out content related to it, hopefully it gives some level of hopefully positive insight into American culture. I mean, I don't know how positive red, white, and blue, or red, white, and blue. Why wasn't it just red? Whatever. Red, white, and blue Mountain Dew is in terms of the overall, but it definitely represents America pretty well, and not in a bad way. You know, in a fun way. So, but you know, regardless of what time you're watching this video, because I am going to put it up before July 4th anyway. You know, hopefully you're enjoying yourself and all the things that you do wherever you are in the world.